All right, guys, Stephen and Alana here, and today we're going to talk about the 89%.
Okay, so the 89%, what are we going to do about the 11%?
We're going to help you understand what the 11% really means.
Not only that, we're going to break it down into 3 steps for you guys. The 3 Ds. That just cracks me up. But it's going to be 3 steps for you guys to focus more on the 89% and stop focusing on that 11% in your life. Tune in. Hi, I'm Alana Mizell.
And I'm her better half, Stephen Mizell. And this is the Mizell Show,
where we take our regular life moments, transforming them into motivation.
helping you crush your goals and leave a little bit more inspired.
Join us for the Mizell Show.
Right now. Hello.
Hey.
What up, yo?
Okay, well, that's too much.
Why is it too much?
It just feels like a lot.
But aren't we a lot, though? Do you want to scale back who we are as a person? I don't understand that. Oh my gosh, it's too much, Steven. No, let's conform to every other podcast that's out there.
Okay.
Now you're here?
Of course. So, we wanted to kind of talk to you guys today about an oldish story.
An oldish story, but how does this...
So prevalent.
Very prevalent.
So, everybody knows Instagram. Well, if you don't,
I think everybody knows Instagram.
they at least know it exists. So, on Instagram, you can add a poll to your story.
Okay.
So, you ask a question.
You mean like it's kind of like it's a poll. Yeah,
It's a poll.
It's a poll, yeah, because you can do like the whole, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those things.
Right.
They're so because 2 people can do it, be like 100% believes in you, but it's like 2 people.
Well, maybe you need the 2 people to believe in you so you can get more people to believe in you.
Okay, it's too early in the podcast.
Don't start.
Dropping
Nobody's
nuggets.
starting. Okay,
We should have a buzzer for Alana's nuggets. Like, zing! Alana's nuggets of the day.
There goes the table flying.
Hey, go ahead.
Anyway, so it was about a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago, yeah.
I had posted a story, and it had a poll, whatever question, and then it had a yes and a no.
I think the poll was, should we go live? I think you literally asked.
I don't even remember what it was, but I was irritated because
I got my feelings too.
11% of people said to
not do it,
to not go live, and I was like, all right. It was all up in my head about all of that, and the only thing that 11% did was distract me from the 89%.
No, 100%, because
No, 100%? No, 100%, the 89%.
No, I'm saying 100%, I agree with you. Because when it first happened, I remember I was just sitting there talking about it, and I was like, yeah, let's do a poll, and let's see it. And then you said, well, actually, 11% of people said no. Like, what? Who's the 11%? But it's like, we led with the negative. Like, we said the 11% before.
I feel like as people... You do that. You lead with the negative. You look at the people that don't like you versus thinking about all the people that do. But I saw a quote recently, and it said, I don't know who said it, I'm so sorry, but it said something in relation to, why do you care about the people that don't like you? You don't even like everybody.
That's true. So you're already in the same boat.
Like, you don't like everybody, so why do you expect everybody else to like you?
Yeah, and I think
that's also a distraction.
It's a distraction. I think what you say when you hear these percentages, like for us it's 11% to 89%, it is literally distracting you from focusing on what could come out of it or what's already come out of it. So sometimes we miss what's already sitting there, and then we discount what could actually happen because we're so inundated with the 11%. Then it distracts you from it, but you just spend so much time on the distraction.
Right. So let's put that into numbers just real quick. So
you love some numbers.
I love it.
Always
I
numbers.
love the stats.
Yes.
So say you have 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you've got 1,000. And 110 people are like, I'm not going to watch you. Okay, great. Yeah. First of all, why are you following me if you don't like anything I do?
Hit the unfollow button, bruh. Unfollow me.
Dude.
Yes, yeah.
But why 110 people? But that means 890 people watched, listened, learned.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people.
If I was talking to a room of 890 people, I would have to throw up in a bucket, then come back on stage.
I would just kill it.
You're so baloney. You would at least have butterflies in your stomach.
890. Yeah, I probably would. I mean, let's be honest with you. It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
But again, it also helps you when you. Sometimes I forget. I don't think we think about like I said, distraction from the bigger picture clearly. Right. But like when you break it down to those kind of numbers, like it's 890 people said like let's do this, but you are so distracted by the 11%.
Well, and put it in sports terms.
Yeah.
If LeBron hits 89% of his shots.
That's phenomenal. If a quarterback throws 89%.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Like, write your ticket.
Write your ticket.
If a baseball player hits 89% of the time.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. That's
so here's the question.
Nearly impossible.
Why did you get in your feelings? Why did you let that 11% distract you?
Because I've been so conditioned to create a feed and a sense of life to where everybody likes what I do.
So do you feel like
that's just not realistic?
So do you feel like that your distraction was heightened by the fact that it was social media? Because every other industry we just talked about, it would have been like, you are killing the game. Even if you hit 89% of your sales goals, it's like, that's great. But like with social media, you're so inundated to wanting to have perfection.
I don't know that I think you have to look at social media as an industry. So as an industry, it's been conditioned to hit these astronomical numbers. Okay. Whereas baseball and athletics and sales to some perspective have been conditioned to accept the numbers at great, but their level of greatness is mediocre in school. So look at your school grades, right? If you get an A, that's a 4.0, right?
Yeah.
And then a B is a 3.0. A 2.0 is a C, which is average.
Average.
So if you're batting 200 in baseball, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're almost above average.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why is it in social media we expect a 104.0? Because the industry standard is that.
Yeah.
So we end up focusing on the 110 or the 11% and not the 890 or 89% or the fact that you are above average.
Yeah. And it goes to say that distraction, it's something that we all fall victim to. I mean, like,
oh, for sure.
It's something that we all struggle with. And you look at it from a standpoint of it distracts you, but it not only distracts you, but then you like spend time on it and you like waste time. Like we got to the point where we almost wanted to go find who those 11% were. It's like, it's not even.
Well, no, crucial. I figured I know who the 11% were, which is also a social media flaw.
Did you unfollow them? Did you like?
No,
did you miss it?
No.
I would have messaged them, but like, hey, why don't you want me to go live?
Well, but then that's focusing on the 11% versus the 8 versus why not contact the 89%
important
that wanted to hear from us.
They wanted to hear from you. No,
because that's the next thing. That's the decision. Did you know that I sell makeup? Not only do I sell makeup, but the makeup that I sell is 3D makeup, which allows you to highlight and contour your face in a super simple compact. As a mom, I could not survive without my simplified routine. Not only that, but it's exactly what you need. Exactly when you need it, all in one spot. Go ahead and check out Alana Mizell on Instagram or alanamizell.com to learn more.
It's a decision that you have to make when you see those numbers. It's a decision that you have to...
Right, so you've got 89% or 11% as the distraction. The 11% is the distraction. But that's the point that you can make the decision.
Yeah.
To focus on the 89%. So if I had hypothetically individually contacted 89%, all of those people, all 890.
Yeah.
Where would my impact or my platform be? Yes, my social media is growing. Yes, we are growing in relation to media in general.
Yeah.
But if you were to focus and decide to focus on your 89% and pouring all of you into that 89% versus wasting your time pouring into the 11,
Yeah.
how much further could you be?
And that's a decision that, man, I think we as a culture, a country, a city, whatever you want, wherever you're living right now, if you focus on that 89%, it's a decision you make that could really change the trajectory of your day, your moment, your work. And it's just, like I said, it's trying to overcome the human nature to the woe is me. Oh my goodness, can you believe this is like, but let's take a step back. We're still dealing with a global pandemic, and you at least have a job. Your job might not be the best job, but you actually have one. And
so let's take that a step further.
Yeah.
So this global pandemic, has forced us
to spend time with a lot of people that you,
Well, no. Like a lot of people that you haven't been spending time with, but you end up staying home with the people that you should be spending time with, but you're so busy focusing on the 11% that doesn't like you that you're trying to build those relationships versus sustaining the 89%.
No, yeah. And that's, it's forcing you to do that. Yeah.
In business, the retention is much more important than the 11 that you're trying to recruit and bring in.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't retain your core and decide to focus on them, then you're going to be constantly recruiting and never be able to retain.
Yeah.
So you're not creating a village.
No, you're not. You're leaving your village to focus on some outside. You're focusing on the outsiders. Meanwhile, your village is just waiting for you to say, "Hey, give us some attention. We're actually here to believe in you.
We love you how you are."
Exactly. But you're so focused on the outer. But that's not
the decision.
That's a decision. But that's not an easy decision. So how does one change their mindset to look at the positives? I mean, like it's easy to say, Stephen, decide on 89%, but like if you're going into a toxic situation each and every day, how do you get that?
It's the active development of it. So you've got to decide, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to develop it. So if you bringing to life your negativity of focusing on the 11%, it's like, so my therapist says all the time, if you call out shame, shame begets shame. So if you keep it to yourself, it's just going to keep perpetuating itself.
Yeah.
But if you call it out, then you're bringing it to the light.
So you're saying...
So if you say, write it down, talk to your spouse, talk to your friend, talk to your loved one, I am struggling with this, or you write down the gratitude, you write down the 89% in a gratitude practice, or you say today, maybe you take a second to pray and say, God, allow me to focus on the 89% today.
Yeah, that's why I want, and I think that's hits right on the head in terms of what we're saying is that it's not going to happen overnight because we're channeled or we're like conditioned to think almost negatively. Sadly, it's like, and I hate the way that our mankind has become that way. But you have to see it from a standpoint of, you're right, it's going to be a process to develop that. And the small things of a gratitude practice or just having an accountability partner say, hey, every day I walk into this office, every day I walk into this classroom, I think about how much I hate it. And help me see some of the benefits. And sometimes people will call you out like, dude, you hate this, but you realize you have an A in the class. Like you're passing.
You hate this, but you've never made active change to make a difference.
To change it, yeah. And
you've sat on your tail and didn't look for a new job.
Yeah.
You don't like this church that you go to. Well, guess what? There's one down the street that you could go to.
But even bigger than that,
what do you not like about it?
Yep.
What are you giving? Are you serving? Or are you just taking?
Yeah.
Is that what the 11% is actually doing? They're taking versus giving back.
Yeah. And it's taken away, like you said, it's caused a distraction, but you have to, like you said, fundamentally make the decision, and then the development process is not going to be an easy one. Like I think
it takes forever.
It takes forever,
but I will tell you, so we're big on gratitude in the Mizell household, and we'll talk about that.
We love some gratitude.
We'll talk about that in another episode, but I will tell you one of the biggest things from a development standpoint that you and I started doing was a daily gratitude practice, which I believe fully has changed, not all the time, but changed how we approach life.
Yeah, I think that is 100% accurate when in terms of taking a step back and writing down or talking through what you're grateful for. And even in this day and time, there's something you can be grateful for. Like it might.
I mean, you can be grateful that the sky is blue. You can be
Grateful
grateful
that you opened your eyes to see the sky. And I think if you
can be grateful that the sky is cloudy because you want to sit in your bed and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
But you want to be grateful that you have a Netflix subscription.
Very true. If you want some real harsh reality when it comes to gratitude, ask a toddler.
Yeah.
Ask them what they're grateful for.
Right.
And they shoot it to you straight. I mean, Adele says all the time, I'm grateful for food on my table. I'm like, yep, I take that for granted. That is
I'm
so
grateful
true.
for my fork.
Yeah.
She says that, and I'm just like, oh, he just goes again with her fork.
Yeah.
But
it's the truth,
But as
though.
adults, we don't have the childlike mentality. And we're so focused on the negative, especially in media. We're inundated with perfection, which doesn't allow us to fail and doesn't allow us to retain those close to us that we love and already love us without the perfection.
Yep. Like you said, love the 89%, but you want to be loved, or you want to get the attention of that 11% that you are pulling away from the 89 that's there and supporting you as wanting to push you to that. So to kind of help everybody kind of understand, you said from the top, you said you have to
realize it's a distraction.
You have to see that this is distracting me from that. This is a distraction.
Yeah, it's distracting me from me. Whatever your 89 or 11% is, doesn't have to be social media driven. It can be, your boss at work.
Your boss. I think
go ahead.
It's a scenario of like you going to a job or going to a situation that frustrates you, but you forget that, hey, this is paying for me to have benefits to go to the dentist, or it's paying for me to be able to.
Yeah, you're kind of taking it too far. So notice that it's a distraction. So you're so used to immediately fixing where your mind is at that you jump all the way down to 3 and start developing it. So for you to even realize that your body is experiencing a distraction in your life, you have to then make the decision to change it.
Yeah.
You're instantly like, this is negative. I've got my decision. Now let's develop and change.
Yeah.
Like that's how you're wired. And so what we've got to do is get to where we realize, okay, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel like this. Okay. So that's you realizing there's a distraction in your life. Then next is make the decision to change it. Right.
Yeah.
And then third is to realize that it's development. It is going to take a while to develop.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of vulnerability to develop that versus just living in your misery.
Yeah.
Living in your 11% focus.
No, I think those are the key points.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we are so glad that you guys tuned in today. Of course, if you are loving this by the Mizell Show, if you will hop onto iTunes and just give us a little review, we would love that. The 89%, we love you. And so we would really, 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 really appreciate that. Go ahead and screenshot this episode as well and share that to your social media and tag us at The Mizell Show. Thank you guys so much. Are you loving The Mizell Show? Well, we love you all. And did you know that you can have me and Steven talk to your team or a group of 25 of your friends? All it takes is 25 people showing up on either a Zoom call, a Facebook Live, or really anywhere. Hopefully in person sooner rather than later. But how do you get us? So all you have to do is email themizellshow@gmail.com, or you can direct message us on Instagram @themizellshow.